Rise and shine, Pembina Valley. Good morning, you guys. It is Monday. Oh my goodness. You guys know how much I love Mondays. But I mean, when it ends up being on the first of the month, you guys, like it's just like all meant to be. I am in love with the Mondays on the first of the month because, as you know, I am total keener when it comes to like all things like goal setting and things like that. And so I kind of love to start my week off with like a fresh slate, right? So that's how Mondays work for me. I do that on a Monday. I do that on the first of the week. And I also do it on the first of the month and the first of the year. And I do it just because I love that feeling of the clean slate. So February 1st, it's Monday. It's like all the good things are coming together this morning. I hope you are having a fantastic morning. So far, this is only my second cup of coffee. That's the word. Yeah, that's right. So let's see if we can get Maria actually talking the way I'm supposed to be here this morning, right? Absolutely. So you guys, let's give a quick talk about our sponsors. Our sponsors are amazing. Our sponsors are Fabricland. We've got Wolf Enterprises. We have Purinata. We have Investor Smarts. Pembina Physiotherapy. You guys, these guys are amazing sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do this. Where I missed Evolve Green in there as well, and I'm sorry about that, but Evolve Green is also one of our sponsors, and they're fantastic. And if you have never met some of these businesses, I encourage you to make sure you hit them up on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that because they really are incredible. Some of these people I've met in real life, and if you haven't ever met Abe and Kathy over at Fabricland, you are missing out. They're some of the sweetest people ever, and they're willing to help you out whichever way they can there. So make sure you take a look there. But guys, let's go over to our weather, shall we? Let's do that this morning. Might be a little slow going for me today. Let's see here. I am trying my very best. Let's take a look at that. And that looks like you can see the weather. Awesome. Okay. So this morning, it feels like -5. When is the last time you have had a January or February at -5 starting the month? We're in February, Maria. Write it down. It's February. But -5, guys, this is unusual. It's incredibly unusual. And that's okay with me because I really like this kind of weather. Yesterday, I was out in the city and I was waiting in lines to get into stores in my flip-flops. So people, guys, it makes for great conversation because I'm out there, I'm in flip-flops and I'm waiting in this, and they're like, oh my goodness, what are you doing? It's just my favorite thing. Anyway, so yes, I enjoy the -4s, -5s, definitely. So a high of -4 tonight with a low of -6. That's incredible. Look at that. And tomorrow we're looking at -2. Let's take a look at the week, shall we? Because I mean, really, -2. -4, -2. Look at this Wednesday, -1, -1. Oh my goodness. I love that. I absolutely love that. And then we're down to some double digits in the minus, but that's okay because you guys, it's February. I think that it's okay to have those minus numbers right there. So I have a great show for you today. We are having a great lineup, and it probably won't be a very long show today, but that's okay because then I can yammer to my heart's content, and that's totally fun as well. But guys, I'm going to take a quick commercial break here, and when I come back, guess who our favorite person is going to be on this morning? Harry Siemens from Siemens Says. All right, let's take a look at that. Nope, wrong intro. Well then, there we go. That's not the farm show. Harry, good morning, Harry. How are you doing this morning?
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
There we go. That's the one I was looking for. The Farm Report brought to you by Wolf Enterprises.
Hey, there we go. Good morning.
How are you doing this wonderful morning?
You know, I'm doing okay. I mean, I took my grandsons to school this morning, and they were happy to see me. I was happy to see them, and You know, it's just such a wonderful, wonderful experience, and every grandpa, every grandma should do that, and I'm sure many do. But you know, to take them, and not only that, but to see the other children, you know, and that's why it was so sad when we didn't have actual school going on, because that's where the children need to be.
Absolutely.
You know, not sitting at home in front of another screen, which they do enough already after hours. So you know what? That was a good thing.
Good. Was there a lesson today? Was there a lesson for them today?
Today there wasn't. Oh yes, there was a lesson. There was one because one of the boys was trying to play a little coy. You know, he just slowly walked. The other two were in the car. Then I get a text from my daughter, Laurel. She says, "Dad, next time Riley decides to do that, then just go to the stop sign and make him walk." I said, "You know what? Let me look after it."
That's so good.
So, but it's all good, you know. And on the agricultural front, of course, we continue to need. You know, I think if we could get 12 inches of snow packed down on our fields, we'd be just absolutely great as far as the farmers are concerned. But
that's right.
There are parts of Western Canada. You go north of number 1 highway into Saskatchewan. I was on with some men on a Zoom conference on Saturday morning, and hey, they're snowmobiling. Rivers, Manitoba, Ron Cron. I watched him last night on Twitter. He's out there. He said snowshoeing and stuff. So there's more snow the further north you go from where we live here in southern Manitoba. So that's all good. And then, you know, there's all kinds of things happening, and the canola prices keep going up.
Wow.
And you know what? Often people can't figure out, and we talked about that last week a little bit, about how the demand keeps increasing. And when there was a little less canola to speak of initially, then the demand sends up the price, and that's what's happening now. It's not like we're seeing lots of other things happening in the New York or in the United States on the stock exchange. You know, this and that, and who knows, and who can figure it out. But right now, when it comes to the grain prices, these are real prices. You know, and that's the important part. You know, and I also wrote an article called "The Upside Down Year of 2020 in the Hog Business." And Bill Ilford, the general manager of Hams Marketing Services, and Hams is spelled HAM and then with a $sign instead of the S, right? I mean, that's what they do. Hams Marketing. It's an independent. It's a cooperative that was set up by independent hog producers. And independent hog producers, you know, can be Hutterites, they can be independent producers and so forth. But the difference between independent hog producers and integrated hog producers, we have High Life, which is an integrated. They have a processing plant at Neepawa. And so they have their own hogs contracted because they need the supply, because they're selling into Japan. And all some into China. Maple Leaf in Brandon, a huge plant, you know, probably doing 70,000 to 80,000 hogs a week. And they too need supply. And so, but they just don't have enough hog barns or enough contracted with producers. So they have to also tap into this independent called Hams Marketing. And Bill Ilford is somebody he's a very good friend of mine. And, you know, and 2020 ended on a positive. And normally the markets would be just the reverse. So that's why I'm calling it the upside down hog market, you know, and so it was really interesting. First of all, COVID started making a challenge because of processing plants shutting down. Things were backed up, and you can't hold live hogs very long because you know they're into this just in time. You know, so you got your hog barns full, and then along comes a processing plant that makes you back up. Well, wow! In the United States, we saw some euthanized hogs that should have gone to market just because there was no place to leave it. But for the most important part right now we've got a hog industry that's the only thing is the prices are higher, but the grain prices are higher too. So the hog guys, they have to then pay the higher, cuts into their bottom margins. But right now we've got some pretty positive things happening in agriculture, and we talked last week, and we'll keep talking. We're now February 1st. I mean, we're just March, April 1st, May 1st, we're into seeding.
Yeah.
So we're 3 months, less than 3 months into seeding. So farmers are getting ready. I mean, they're making sure they make all those decisions and discussions. So yeah, the agriculture industry is continuing to move forward in a positive way, and we'll see what happens come spring. We need moisture, but we don't control that. We just have to make sure we do the best we can with what we have.
That's right. And I won't complain if there is 12 inches of snow on your fields, but if I could still walk in my flip-flops, I'd still be happier. So
you know what? I'm sure that wouldn't make a difference. You just go a little faster.
That's correct. Absolutely. I said to Mike yesterday, I said, you know what? I'm getting out of my van into my van in the garage. I go into the store. It's only like this tiny little bit. But when I have to wait outside of the store to get in, that's where the problem comes in. So I'll carry some socks in my pocket just in case I need to put those on with my flip-flops. So
yeah. That's good. Okay.
Harry, where can people find this upside down hog market for 2020? Where can they find that article?
I will post it on my timeline.
Excellent. Sounds good.
I will post it on my timeline, and then people can see it there.
Wonderful. So that's on your Siemens Says page?
It's actually going to be on the profile, Harry Siemens profile. It'll be on both. It'll be on both.
Deal. So people can hook you up there and see where it's at so they can take a look at it.
They can call me and ask me questions. My number is about as public as anybody's number. It's 204-362-6157.
Perfect.
And I have no problem putting that on the screen, because that's what that's what you do.
Excellent. That's wonderful. Well, Harry, thank you. It is always such a pleasure to visit with you on Monday mornings. I treasure every single moment of it. So thank you so very much for coming on this morning. And I look forward to seeing you same time, same place next week.
Right on. Have a good one.
You too. See you later.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so it looks like my screen is frozen. Look at me, I'm waving at you and drinking coffee. I think I'm going to catch up here really soon. Please catch up, because it always freezes in the worst possible frames. There we go. Excellent. Well, you guys, isn't that always such a treasure? Make sure you go over to Harry's page, Siemens Says, and that way you can keep on top of all of the agricultural farm reports that he writes for us. Well, not for us, but he writes them for everybody. So anyway, but he shares them with us on Monday mornings. Guys, wonderful. So this morning I have a guest here whose name is Craig Soldier. We're going to talk a little bit about Greenback Fillets, and we're going to see what that is all about. I'm very excited to hear about this industry. So let's bring on Craig. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning, Maria.
How are you doing this morning?
I am fine. I'm at work and taking some time out from my job and to speak with you.
Excellent. Well, that's very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Craig, tell us a little bit about yourself this morning.
Well, I'm from Swan Lake. Myself and two other friends, we go ice fishing regularly, and came up an idea that we should start selling pickerel fillets in the area, because there's a demand for it.
Right.
So we came up with Greenback Fillets. It's basically what pickerel are called on the Lake Winnipeg. We go there often, but that's just what we like, and we took the name. We're from Swan Lake, and just kind of a hobby kind of thing right now. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you decided to start selling them because you know there's a demand for pickerel fillets here.
Yeah, we saw the demand in the area. our lakes in Swan Lake and Pelican Lake and Rock Lake aren't producing. So, you know what, people love fish and it's a healthy food. So we thought we'd venture into the market in the area. A lot of the fillets that do come into the area, they're full of bones, and we pride ourselves in. I have to say 99% boneless, but majority of every fillet is 100% boneless.
Wow, that is fantastic, because that, as a mom, when I buy fish, that's what a big thing for me is. I want to make sure, because I don't want to go through both of my kids, fillets before I actually hand that to them. So that is really awesome. I love to hear that. That is so neat.
Yeah, my partners are very particular on the cleaning process, and I don't even get to touch them. That's how particular they are. I do the packaging and pricing.
Excellent. That would be me too, because I'm not filleting the fish, so we're good. That's for sure. Awesome. So that sounds really good. So people can just purchase them off of you. Where can they purchase them? Like, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, we have a contact number, 204-825-4278.
825-4278.
Yeah, we also have Greenback Fillets on Facebook. You can add us as friends, or else we even have we have our email address as well, greenbackfillets@gmail.com. Depending how this goes, we may end up opening up a website. We'll see. But right now, we basically started this little project out of our own pockets. We haven't seeked any funding out there. We're just doing it on our own and seeing where it goes. So we're starting small and see what kind of customer base we can create.
Absolutely. And that is actually very necessary in all small businesses, is to see what kind of customer base you can create before you start to, go in the big ways, right? So, but right now, it'll absolutely be wonderful. So we've got your phone number here, 825-4278, and also greenbackfillets@gmail.com. I've got that on the screen down here. And then you said also on your Facebook page, people can find you as well, correct?
Yeah, as well. And, we've been advertising on Pembina Valley online frequently here. We also sell Arctic char fillets as well, besides the pickerel fillets.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Arctic char is more up north, but I've managed to get my hands on some, and we sell that. We'll give a free sample out with our orders as well for people to try. When we give an order of pickerel out, we'll throw a little slab of Arctic char in there, tell them how they can cook it, or else you can find it online. We also sell our pickerel whole round, so that if you have someone at home that doesn't want us touching your fish, well, we'll sell you the whole fish and you can do it yourself.
That's excellent. That is excellent. See, I love fishing in the summertime. I don't like cold, so I have never been ice fishing. Tell me, what's the most enjoyable part of ice fishing for you?
Just sitting on the ice, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, we were out there on Saturday on Lake Winnipeg, and just to sit out in the ice and to the peacefulness. We had a little hiccup from Mother Nature there midday, where our ice heaved a little bit and shook our tents a little bit and scared us up. But it's part of the game, and you enjoy it. And just pulling out a fish out of the ice, it's just wonderful. Honestly, it's great to pull a fish out of the ice and to bring it home and to fillet it and throw it in the frying pan.
Right. Nothing like it, I bet. See, and that's for me. It's like, I don't know if I could be on the ice. I'm so nervous about being on the ice. So it's like, even just, going to Morden, to Lake Minnewaska, I'm on the edge of the ice. I'm not one of those people who's out in the middle of the lake. There's no way. So I can see how that would cause a little bit of a hiccup with the heaving of the ice. But anyway, it's interesting, right?
Oh, it's interesting. And it's, I'm like you. I'm not a fan of the ice either, but I'll go on because it's so peaceful out there. So I'm not usually the first truck on the ice. I'm usually the second or third wait.
Right. We got to make sure the other guy doesn't hit an animal like a walleye. So
yeah, exactly.
Right.
It'd be claim wildlife for Otter Pack if you hit a walleye in the lake, I guess.
That's right. Exactly. I've seen that meme floating around. That's always a fun one there for me. So wonderful. Well, Craig, thank you so much for coming on this morning. Is there anything else you'd love to share with us about ice fishing or about Greenback Fillets?
Well, Greenback Fillets is just we provide. We may be able to buy fillets and store it cheaper, but you're going to get bones. We provide boneless fillets. We provide cheeks and fins as well.
Okay.
The fins you can batter and deep fry, and you can eat them like a piece of shrimp and eat the meat. And if you want to eat the fins, by all means, go ahead too. They're crunchy and they're good.
Interesting. I have never, ever done that in my life. So that's something I will have to try. What is your favorite, what you may call it, batter? What is your favorite batter?
I just go to the store and buy fish crisps. That's all I buy.
No.
I find it works. I've tried others, but I haven't hit my niche, so to speak, with the batter. But eventually I'll try some more. But right now I'm into selling and seeing where this goes, and maybe we'll create our own batter as well and sell that alongside.
That would be really cool. Have something that you really like. I'm a fish crisp person too, so that's exactly where I'm at as well. You betcha. Cool. Well, thank you, Craig. I really appreciate you coming on here today. That has been wonderful. And so that's great. And so I've got your name and phone number down here, and people, you can hook up with Craig at Greenback Fillets on Facebook as well.
Yeah, just one little note so that people are aware. Our fish come right from the lake whole, and they're fresh. They're not sitting in the freezer for months at a time.
Right.
We had our first order last Thursday. We're getting another order this week on Friday, and they'll be fresh out of the lake and filleted and vacuum packed.
Awesome. That's wonderful. So you put that on your Facebook page or things like that as well then, so that people can see that, you're ready for an order, and can they pick them up? Where do they pick them up, or where do you deliver, or how does that work?
It depends on the order. We may deliver. It depends. Like I venture to Winkler often, so Winkler's not that far from me. Lately, we've been just delivering or to the customers, and but if they want to pick up and come see where we are, by all means, we'll take them as well. Come to our community.
Awesome. That is wonderful. That's really cool to know too. So it's nice to see where we can, connect with people right now. That's a really wonderful thing too. And so being able to deliver that and see your faces when you do that, that's really cool too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Thanks, Craig.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That is so interesting. You guys, I know that I've said before here that I'm a fisher person, fishing woman. I love going out fishing, but I do not like going on the ice. And that is something that is like super scary for me. So I am that person. I have a video, I think, on my Instagram, maybe, of me like wandering out to a picnic table that's maybe like 3 feet away from the edge of the ice. And I'm like terrified. So that's something that I don't do. I don't do very well. I don't enjoy it. So it's a little bit fishy that way. Ha ha. Fishy that way. Excellent. So make sure you check out Greenback Fillets over on Facebook, you guys, as that is going to be really wonderful there too. So I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and I will see you back here in about 30 seconds. Wonderful. So a quick little update for you, you guys. Have you been watching Evolution Greenworks show on Wednesday nights at 8? It is fantastic. If you have not been watching it, make sure you go and check it out. It is on our Facebook page and also on our YouTube. Lorena Mitchell is a fantastic host, and she is so involved in the green movement. She is the owner and founder of Evolve Green, which is solar panels and all the wonderful things that are, and she has taught me so much about green energy that I can't even remember it all. I can guarantee that, but she has done such a fabulous job. Make sure you check out her show Wednesday night at 8. And she has some of the coolest people on, and my favorite episode so far, I think, is obviously the airships one. I really enjoyed that, and I know there's some controversy around airships, and I really loved watching it and learning all about it. I think education about those kind of things is fantastic. So this morning, we are having a special guest. Her name is Sheila Suderman. She is from, I hope I say this correctly, Segue. She's gonna help me. She's gonna have to pronounce it for me because I am terrible at these kind of things. So guys, help me welcome her on this morning. Good morning, Sheila. How are you today?
Good, thank you. How are you, Maria?
I am so fabulous this morning. You betcha. Now tell me, how do I pronounce it? Is it Segue?
You pronounced it correctly. You're one of them.
And I was thinking I'm totally butchering it. So.
Yeah, no, you did fabulous. It's actually a French term, which means a smooth transition. And so people who are familiar with that term pronounce it correctly, and other people look at it. I know a lot of people will look at me. So you're from Segue, and then they stop because they need me to finish it.
That's literally how I would be too in person, but I'm like, I'm going to take a shot. And for once, it worked out really well. So
you did awesome.
Excellent. Good morning, Sheila.
Good morning.
Tell me a little bit about yourself to start off with. How about that?
Oh, well, I'm originally from the Winkler area. I grew up just outside of Winkler on a farm. Fell in love with the mountains, and so moved out there for 20 years. And there was a change. I came back to this area for a visit. Everybody said stay. And I'll be honest, I said there's not a job in this town that could keep me here. Yes. And then I found out about Segue and their program. And so I started with Segue in December of 2007.
Okay.
I was a frontline staff, and 4.5 years ago, I stepped in as program director. Or shouldn't say step in. I was chosen from other candidates to take over the program director position.
Yes. Oh, that's fantastic. So what is it? You said that there isn't a job that could probably keep me here, but then you found out about this one. Tell me about this job. Tell me what is specifically has drawn you to this job.
Even when I was a retail manager, I was always talking to my staff, and I picked out their skills and abilities. And I even had some people, I said, so why are you working for me? Because this is what I see you doing.
Right.
And so with Segue Career Options, it's working alongside job seekers that are trying to find that fit in the labor market for themselves. And a lot of times they don't understand their skills and abilities. Right. And, you know, and I have a heart for helping people. And I wish there had been programming like this when I was younger. I was introduced to a program when I was making career change. I will say this, in my early 40s, and some of that's been implemented in what we do now, and just trying to really help people get sort of, I guess, that foundation, because what we do most of our life is work.
Yes.
And so trying to find that good fit to move forward to what we're going to be doing for the rest of our life. And it doesn't mean that it's just the one career. Yes. But at least learning what our skills and abilities are, that then those transferable skills and how we can take them into other positions.
Oh, isn't that the truth, though? It is really, because it's likely none of us are going to stay in the same career for all of our lives. I'm in my early 40s, and I guarantee you I am now at a different place than I was even 5 years ago. So that is absolutely correct. But you pick up what you're good at and what kind of things that you love to do and what really, like, you know, gets your passion going here, right?
Right.
For sure. That's awesome. So how are you serving the Pembina Valley? Can you tell me how someone who needs some help kind of figuring out those kind of things about their skills and abilities, what kind of journey do they go on with you?
Sure. So Segue actually has 4 different programs. Okay. And when Segue actually transitioned from the TrainX Center, so people who are familiar with TrainX, and that it was a sheltered workshop. And I would say at that time, I don't have all the background in history, but I'm guessing from some of the information I have that a lot of the individuals who came into that program had been receiving services either at the Eden Mental Health Center or through community mental health, but were maybe finding it harder to get employment in the community. And so they created a workshop where people could at least develop some different skill sets, and then hopefully from there transition out. From there, Segue transition to more of an office and helping people get out into competitive work right away. And so I think people still think of Segue as just helping people with mental health and disabilities. We do have 2 programs that are specific to helping people with disabilities. But we also have a program that is for people from the ages of 18 to 60. Of course, we're not doing it in classroom sessions right now because of COVID. Yes. But we do have all of our employment readiness sessions on an online learning platform. And so alongside of the program coordinator and the employment facilitator for that program, they're getting assistance working through those modules and then working towards employment.
Oh, okay.
And then we have one program. We're actually very excited. It only started in September. It's a youth program specific to those that are aged 15 to 30.
Okay.
Now, people who are familiar with Segue and its programs, we used to have a youth program called STEP. That funding, they've been looking at how to assist youth to being more successful in employment. And that means also looking at some of their life skills, social skills, just their ability to kind of maneuver, navigate through life.
Okay.
And so it's not just an employment readiness program, it's employment readiness with helping youth with their other aspects in life that they're struggling with. So I actually like the way the one coordinator put it. Our previous program, it was a program, it was almost like a mold that people needed to fit into.
Okay.
Our new youth program, we're molding to fit around the people that are coming into the program.
I do really love that.
It is.
I do really love that. And I mean, it is really always a changing thing, isn't it? It is very much so. The things that we're struggling with today, yes, might be the same things that we kind of struggle with when we were younger, but there are so many different aspects to it, right? So absolutely. So I love that. And besides, most of us like me don't fit in a box anywhere. So
I'm one of those too.
Excellent. And that is why we forged the way. So
right.
That's exactly right. Absolutely. That's for me too. And I love how you said it's not just career employment opportunity learning. It's helping them to transition with anything that they're looking for help with in their lives. And that's something that I think was missing a lot, in my childhood, in my teens and stuff like that, when I started to look for things that I needed help with. So I love that you're there, and I love that you're able to serve people in that capacity. It is beautiful.
And we have great staff that are willing to help. Even though during COVID, we're doing a lot less in person. There are protocols that we follow for people who do want to have in-person meetings, but they do need to call the office and make those arrangements.
Right, exactly. And then that way, then you can help them with whatever that they need.
Correct.
So, okay, Sheila, is the website, is it under the Eden Healthcare with Segue Career Options?
Correct. So because we're one of the programs under Eden Healthcare Services, that's sort of the umbrella parent company. Yes. But if people go to edenhealthcare.ca and scroll down, because they put it in alphabetical order, so you have to go down to S, and there's Segue, and they can click into Segue. They can read about our programs, they can meet our staff. It's just a good way of getting a bit of an introduction to our program and our department.
And see kind of where they could fit, see what would help them along with their smooth transition.
Well, and a lot of people, like, we do have a fillable application form online, and I know some people are a little bit nervous about picking out, like, what program should I apply for. If they're not sure, leave it blank. I tell people that we will actually assess that when we get the application forms in the office. So there's no way of actually applying for the wrong program. And even for some people who've applied for a particular program that we see benefits of them possibly being in another program, we'll give them that information, and then they can still make that decision as which they think is the best fit for them to help them to be successful moving towards employment.
That is fantastic. And I love how you have those separate programs that are able to help people. And by getting to know somebody a little bit, you do see, where can they get the most benefit from, right?
Right.
So that's one. And I think you're right. I think the most daunting part of it is like filling out the application or taking that first step. I think that's the hardest part is in everybody's journey, is taking that first step and saying, hey, Sheila, I need some help in something here. I'm not exactly sure what I need, but can you help me? And that is such a vulnerable step, but such a big one. It is such a big step.
Yeah, and people, like, here again, if they make appointments at the office right now during COVID, if we weren't in COVID, it would be different. But we have had people who've wanted to pick up an application form from the office. That's fine. We give them the option to take it home.
Yes.
Or they can fill it out right there in the office.
Okay.
And that way we do check on them every couple of minutes to see if they have any questions or concerns about, what's on the application form. So we're trying to take sort of that angst out, because now during COVID, we know a lot of people are having heightened stress and anxiety. A lot of our clientele before even COVID hit were struggling with anxiety, and so you add a little bit more to it. So we do help in however the manner we can.
Right, exactly, which is so wonderful. So I've entered the website address in the comments there, and I'm showing it on the screen as well, so that people can get a hold of you there, and that's wonderful. Do you have anything else you'd love to share with us about Segue?
Wow, I think I've kind of covered it in a nutshell. If you got me going, I'd probably go way too
long. Well, that sounds like a women in business episode. I'm just saying that could be a fun time for sure. Absolutely. Taking a look at all those different things. So wonderful. Well, Sheila, it has been such a pleasure to have you on this morning. I really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to be able to come on here and share with us. I really love that.
Well, and thank you for the invitation to be here and being able to share. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. No problem. So we'll talk to you again soon, Sheila.
All right. Thanks so much, Maria. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. What a treat. I absolutely love having people here who are so minded to help people. I'm a helper. I know that about myself. I am a helper. I love to be able to help people, and I love to be able to help find solutions, right? So Sheila, I think that we are like, our hearts can connect here very easily. So you bet you guys, I will be right back with you after this very short commercial break. Wonderful. So if you didn't catch my Women in Business episode last Thursday at 8, make sure you go watch that replay. It was a really great time of talking about balance and, the little myths that we all have. Are you always behind? So make sure you go check that out this week, Thursday at 8 o'clock. We will surprise you with who we have coming on this week. It's going to be a very exciting episode. So we will see you Thursday night at 8. You guys, don't forget, we've got some new shows coming to the network, Through the Eyes of Manitoba, Through the Eyes of Tommy, and we've got the Real Estate Show with Cindy Grenier coming up as well. So I hope to see you guys here again next Monday. Again, thank you so much to our viewers who are coming on here and sharing their Monday morning with me. I absolutely love it, and I do my very best to respond to comments in the comment section, so make sure you say hello, and I just am so thankful for you guys. So have a great rest of your day. I know that you're going to have a kick butt Monday because it's Monday. It's February 1st. Go out there and set some goals. Have a great day.